where we are this morning, taking a look at what might just be a trend. Yesterday, we were chatting to the CEO of Policy Bazaar UAE, Niraj Gupta. He said that he was seeing quite the spike in insurance policies coming out of one sector of Dubai. And, well, in many sectors of Dubai, but there was one he highlighted in particular, and that was from the car rental companies. He reckoned that they were seeing great growth, so we thought we would find out directly. Very pleased to be joined in the studio now by Soham Shah, who's the CEO and founder of SelfDrive.ae. Soham, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
So, tell me, how busy are you at the moment?
Super busy. Very, very busy these days. So we've seen an amazing growth in the summers this time. It was a very surprising event, though we've seen around a 15% top-line growth in the short-term rental market. We've seen a 10% additional growth in the monthly rental market. That's been very surprising for us. We've seen massive influx of people staying here because we had Eid's, basically, Eid holidays moved very initially. So that moving forward into the peak summers, we've seen that kind of a growth happening from the residents as well.
Okay, let's break all of that down. Firstly, it's summer. Would you expect to see this as a period of growth?
Not really. This is one of a kind, unique proposition I've ever seen. I've been in this since 6 years now. Every time we see a kind of a dip in the summers, which typically a 10 to 15% dip is very normal in the rental industry during the summer period. But this year has been something very absolutely different.
Okay, let's talk about who's actually taking your cars then. And I know you rent from sort of on a daily basis to an annual basis. If we start with the shorter terms,
right.
What are we seeing in terms of tourists at the moment?
Yeah, so this basically predominantly we've seen the Asian markets being on the peak side on the growth there. And on the monthly segment, we've seen the residents basically who continue to be in the country, not moving out, are a surprising element for us that they continued with not returning the vehicles and continue growing. Probably a lot of them who got back from the holidays early are still there. So that's the growth kind of seems to be seen there.
Are we seeing more new residents picking up cars?
Yes. So the trend typically is, this is what our data basically states, that when you specifically enter into the country, you can get your driving license converted if you're a European resident or an American resident or from the Brit side. But from the Asians, it takes some time to get your driving license sorted out. But even if you do that, by the time you are able to get to the car, that period is close to 18 months when a new resident basically decides to get his first vehicle. And that data prominently says that that's where the business lies into, and that's where we are been keeping super busy.
That's your biggest spike, is it?
That's the biggest spike what we've seen there.
And who's taking those cars? Talk to me about that demographic.
So typically what we've seen is more on the sideline of age group between 28 and 45. These are the specific areas that we've seen in. From the sidelines, we've seen expat audience massively from all nationalities. We practically served more than 95 nationalities on our platform, though, but a majority coming in from the European sector. We've seen a lot of Brit audience coming into the market as well. We've seen influx of Ukrainian and Russian crowd also coming in. That has also seen a big spike on the market here. Plus, the short term specifically coming in from the Asian crowd today. That's where the market lies, I'd say.
What do they want to rent?
We've seen rental audience happening in compact SUVs is something very famous in. Big sale SUVs are very with family members, all of their friends coming in. So that's where the audience currently lies. And of course, the economic cars is best suited for the short term, but monthly specifically moves into the SUV category for sure.
You have got the Renault Zoe on your platform, the electric car. Tom's been talking about electric cars this morning.
Yeah.
Do people care about renting something that's more environmentally friendly or even maybe cheaper, or are petrol prices not high enough for people to worry about that?
EVs we were the first one to get Renault Zoe into the market back in 2017, and we continue to build the ecosystem for EV. We look forward towards building that entire platform for us, for the market here. Currently, the adaptability basically lies into is giving it a try. That's what you feel. It's not out there, but it's getting in. So people just want to give it a try. We're making it more affordable. We are working with the OEMs and the dealerships to make it more affordable and accessible to the market there.
Well, let's look at how you're coping with that growth. Have you got enough cars for this?
Yes. Currently, I would say yes. A couple of years, even if you would have Q1 of this year, I would say no. But yes, right now we have fleet. We've just onboarded the Polestar 2, which is just recently launched in the market. So we have that on the platform, and we had some good traction for that product as well.
What's happening to your prices, though, both to acquire new vehicles, to service them, even to insure them?
What exactly happened, what the policy gentleman basically said was, why is the traction coming to rent-a-car is not because there is a sudden surge on demand. It was basically what happened last couple of years. If you look into the entire data center, the events that happened in Dubai overall. So if you look back into the last 21, 22, wherein we had the expo event happening in where cars were available and a lot of traction was there, then we ran into the chipset issue where the cars absolutely were not there and having a lot of shortfall. And now as we move to 2023, the cars are getting back in streamline. Then we'd have the container shipment problems and all of that was super high cost. But now what we've seen is these orders are not actually placed right now. They were placed actually in Q4 of last year. They're just getting delivered now. So that's the reason that spike in the insurance sector there.
But in terms of the other costs, your running costs, things like commercial rent, things like wages, things like the insurance itself, what are you seeing?
We see there's a spike in that, but the interesting fact is that's not, I would say right now, the rental prices are way better in terms of the industry. They are not as crazy as they were a couple of years back, including the years that when the shortage were there of the cars. So it's cooled off because the supply chain has cooled off a bit.
But as we know, if there's a lot of demand, people often raise prices. Do you expect to see prices go up in your industry, or are they already?
No, they have not. So it's because it's just coming out of the summer right now. So the prices are absolutely, I would say, in the best of its shape. And probably in September, mid-September, we can see a sudden spike happening in a bit. But that would be probably, say, about 5 to 10%, nothing more than that.
When we talk about prices, though, the other thing we have to look at is interest rates. And if someone's looking to buy a car, obviously looking to borrow money, that is a factor. Are you seeing more long-term leases from people choosing to rent, not buy?
So we've introduced a subscription product. So subscription product is a flexible way of ownership right now, and that's been very, very beautifully taken up by the markets. Lease basically demands you a lot of commitment. And there is a lot of traction, basically, if you early have a return and everything problems. So having said that, subscription is something that people have widely accepted it, and that flexibility is something that is empowering people to go more and more to the on-demand mobility as a solution-based product.
Soham Shah is the CEO and founder of SelfDrive.ae, talking about the spike in car hiring that he has seen this summer. The highest in the last 6 years. He'd normally see a dip of up to 15%. This year, he is seeing a rise of up to 15%. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.